Folks, welcome in. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley live with you here as we work our way toward the 4th of July holiday, just one day away. It's been a beautiful Thursday here. We're going to be with you for the next 30 minutes talking about your local weather and also all across the Carolinas, the comings and goings of weather news today. A lot of the things will be about the tropical system out at the coast and beach safety as well. But I do want to get you up to speed with our local triad weather here. Take a look at these numbers. This is pretty typical, right, for the month of July. And July 3rd, the average high temperature is 88 degrees. That's exactly where a lot of us were for today. So a normal type of day this afternoon. High temperatures did sneak up to 90 in Winston-Salem, Lexington. Statesville got up to 90 as well. Looks like Raleigh was hanging out around 92 this afternoon. And in case you were curious, the record high for July 3rd is 98 degrees. I want to spend a little time, though, talking more about the dew point. Why did today probably not feel as bad to you as other days? We've been right around 90. Shoot, we've been in the 80s that have felt plenty worse than today did. And this is why kind of the secret to your comfort out there this afternoon is that dew point temperature. Now, I'm not saying it's not hot when it's 90 degrees. Believe me, it's hot to me too. But 64 degrees for the dew point. When we talk about a dew point temperature, what it really is it's a measure of how much water is in the air. It's the temperature at which the air is going to condense and make dew at nighttime. And it really is a good way to look at it instead of relative humidity, because anytime the dew point's in the 60s, we're feeling relatively okay, especially this time of year. That feels a bit less humid to us. When the dew point temperature is above 70, that's really oppressive, sticky stuff. And that's what we've had so much of over the last couple of weeks. So today was the first time we've kind of scaled that back a little bit. Now, in the fall time, you tend to have dew points in the 50s and 40s, and that's when it's just that crisp fall feel that we all know and love. Now, here's where we're going. Over the next couple of days, we're going to keep those dew point temperatures right there in the 60s. So still feeling pretty good tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. By next week, well, kind of July takes over a little bit. We'll be right there back around that 70-degree dew point range, but still not quite as bad as we had been during the big heat wave, right? Our dew points were often 74, 75 degrees during those times. That's not the case anymore. Let's talk about the weather pattern that's creating this different weather. We had a cold front that moved through yesterday, as you'll recall. Now it's a stationary front and it's stuck over the Gulf Stream. As you might know, along the Carolina coastline, you get offshore by a little bit. Warmer water is there. That's the Gulf Stream. And that's where this stationary front is just going to kind of hang out. Now, we're on the drier side of this front, so I'm not expecting storms for tomorrow or for Saturday. We're going to enjoy more of that less humid feel and kind of more of that drier air. But hard to ignore this, isn't it? Where that stationary front is sitting, the longer it sits there and kind of remains undisturbed, it can be a breeding ground for tropical systems. A lot of the hurricanes and tropical storms that we track, they can form far away, like all the way over toward Africa. There's another way you can get a system though, and that's kind of what we would call a homegrown system, when you have these low pressure areas that develop just offshore and then kind of come in within a day or two. That's what this situation is. The National Hurricane Center has been watching this for several days, and you might remember a couple of days ago the odds of development were only at about 20%. Well, now they've increased all the way up to 60%. So somewhere within this orange shaded area, low pressure has a good chance of getting going over the weekend. And so what would that mean? Well, there's not going to be a huge storm or anything, but this could be a rainmaker that starts to impact the coastal areas especially, but maybe even could send a little bit of rain our way by the end of the weekend. I want to show you the temperatures of that water. So these are sea surface temperatures estimated by satellite right now. Closer to shore, low 80s, but over that Gulf Stream, it is in the mid 80s right now, and that's where this system would be getting going. Tropical systems and hurricanes and all of those things love to have water temperature that's over 80 degrees. They usually can't form if it's any cooler than that. So the warm water, that's not a problem at all. Let's take a closer view at our model. This would be for tomorrow starting in the middle of the day. You can kind of get an indication that low pressure is trying to get going, but it's not all that strong yet. Now on Saturday and perhaps by Sunday, that's when things really get going. And I'm worried a little bit about your beach plans on Sunday. Not for your safety. Everyone's going to be safe here. But as far as rain being a bummer or a damper on plans, I definitely think the beaches have some concern for scattered downpours and scattered showers on Sunday. Now, for that matter, we could too. Notice here, Sunday at noon, that brings some scattered showers closer to us. We're going to have to keep our eyes on this to see just how far inland some of that rain could get. Here's a computer model comparison, left, right. 1 and 2. Take your pick here. These are both looking at Sunday afternoon and evening. You'll notice that one of them brings that rain into central North Carolina. The other one keeps it pretty much closer to the coast. So we have a bit of uncertainty here, which is not uncommon when we're forecasting the weather. So right now, our local forecast keeps it dry for Friday and Saturday, but Sunday, there's an opportunity, or a chance at least, of some scattered rain showers. So let's keep that in mind. Rain totals along the coastal areas could be in that 1 to 2 inch range, maybe a little higher than that at times over the next 3 to 4 days. That's the main thing. So it looks like Sunday would be the biggest impact, maybe Saturday night at the coastal areas. Tomorrow, a beautiful 4th for pretty much everybody in the Carolinas. Saturday, dry for most everybody except for possibly the coastal areas toward evening. And then Sunday, looks to be wet to me along the coasts, and then here locally, we're right on the edge. So a scattered shower or two is possible. We'll still have a mostly beautiful weekend, but that Sunday forecast is a little bit in question. As far as Monday goes, looks like we'll start to dry out a little bit again, and then going forward beyond that into next week is when we would have some chance and some risk of having pop-up storms come back. One thing I really want to hit home though, this is a danger, and we've seen this already with at least a swimming death a couple of days ago up at the Outer Banks. Rip currents are always an issue, but in this case, they're probably going to be worse than usual. Even before the storm system is kicked up, the rip current risk right now was in the medium to high category around the Wilmington area. As this system gets going, if it forms, it's likely to kick up the surf a little bit, and we're likely to see more of those red flags instead of the green flags. So just keep that in mind, and especially any of your friends and family that might go to some of these beaches that don't have the lifeguards and don't have those flags, well, that's a concern, because if you're not swimming near that, you don't really have that protection of the lifeguard crews. So keep that in mind. Longer range model, Sunday has the rain chance, Monday not so much, but by Tuesday and into Wednesday, daily pop-up thunderstorms will again be part of our future here at home in the Triad. So here's a look at your 4th of July. I have us at 90 degrees for tomorrow. Fireworks look good. Any sort of cookouts or lake things you want to do, they look nice as well. We'll have a high temperature right around 90. For Saturday, sunny and dry, right around 88 degrees. And again, hardly a chance for a storm. As far as after that, looking at Sunday, there is potential of some rain, mostly for our easternmost counties. That's something to keep in mind. Going into next week, Monday, mostly dry, and then a better chance of pop-up storms Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll be right back with a discussion about the Carolinas.